Hey, Kings and Dragons, Dragon King 551 here, and we are back with sports videos. This one is not about the Michigan Wolverines whatsoever. This is about the college football playoff committee and how ridiculous they are. Now, guys, I will upload a TikTok about this sports stuff about the college football playoff. There are other videos of my sports takes that will be coming over later in the future, and the date will say on the TikTok thing 2022. So it will say the year that that the video did come out on TikTok, just so you guys don't get confused. But I'm not going to put the full date or anything. I'm just going to say the year. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. The committee is on crack. They are on drugs right now. I do not understand what they are doing. The college football playoff is on terrible, terrible, wackadoo stuff. Now, I am going to address Michigan and talk about this, but we can look at each team that is in the college football playoff. I believe it is the top 10 teams and stuff as of right now. Now, Joe Klatt has explained that I don't think the committee, and he knows some of the committee members on this committee or some of his friends, did not watch the tape of Michigan's tape and Clemson's tape and determine who gets the better of those two teams. The other thing I want to state is this, guys. I've said it time and time again on other videos. If you play a close game, you're going to lose one of them. I said it against Alabama. If they play a close game like they did against Texas A&M, Texas, or the team that they were playing, Tennessee, they were going to lose. They lost. Now, I said the same thing about Clemson. They're overrated. They've played three close games, or I think four now, four close games. They dropped 31 points against Boston College, and that game was almost the same as the Indiana score and stuff. Didn't understand why Clemson jumped over them in the AP ranking. The other thing is that you have games where NC State, they only won by 10 points. The Wake Forest game, they got into overtime, won by a touchdown. And then you have the Clemson-Syracuse game where they only won by 6 points. I'm going to tell you right now, they're either going to lose against UNC or they're going to lose against Notre Dame coming this weekend. Because I'm telling you right now, there is no way Clemson should be higher than Michigan. They are overrated. They're playing two close games and stuff. If they're such a good team and stuff, they would be blowing out a top 14 opponent 49-10. Look at Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan has been consistently good with blowing teams out and dropping more points than the other team. 29-7 against MSU and stuff. Oh my goodness, 22-point lead versus the Syracuse Clemson game where it was only a 6-point deficit and stuff. What is going on? Look at Ohio State. The only game that they struggled against was Notre Dame with an 11-point difference. Other than that, Ohio State has been consistently good with blowing out teams and stuff with a big margin. Tennessee, blowing out teams. Georgia, the only team that Tennessee struggled against was Alabama, but remember, that is a close game, two high-powered offenses. Georgia and Tennessee this weekend is going to be a struggle because those two teams are tied for number one in the college football playoff and the AP ranking, so we don't know where this is going to be, but Georgia could have a close game and they could lose. Georgia has struggled. They struggled against Missouri. They only scored, I believe, like 15 points or 17 points when they won the game or something. And then they struggled against another team, and it was just ridiculous how much those teams struggled. And it's just baffles my mind how certain teams can jump over when you're struggling. Look at Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan plays Penn State. They blow them out 41-17. Ohio State gets slightly exposed because they only win by 13 points and stuff. And ultimately, it makes no sense. Then they only win by 22 points against Michigan State, but it's still a blowout and stuff. So for me, I don't understand why Clemson is so far ahead of Michigan. We're going to look at the playoff ranking and stuff, and we're just going to look at it. So let's get right into it. And another thing, guys, so this is Joe Klatt. This is the guy that I talk about all the time with my uncle. I think he's really well made for himself. He says the days of Michigan getting blown out by Ohio State might be over, but we'll see. The other thing is that my uncle and I talk a lot and stuff, and he's very old school. He's grew up with a lot of Super Bowls. He knows about the football and stuff. He didn't watch a lot of college football, but this is the problem right here. You can't have a regular season poll that determines the teams and then have this playoff poll determining who gets in or not. Look, I'm telling you right now, if I look at NFL standings right now, 2022, and and take the best teams right now. And I'm just going to take the two best teams right now that I'm looking at. I believe it's the Chiefs and the Bills. Those would be the 1 and 2 seed as of right now. And then you got the National Football Conference, where I guess it's the Giants or the Cowboys or whatever. You got the Vikings at 6 and 1. You got the Eagles at 7 and 0. Those are the teams that are going to make the playoff and stuff, because you're looking at their record and determining in that. And there's only 32 teams, where I get that there's 100 teams, but again, the college football playoff will expand to 12. So what the hell happened here? All right. So these are the top 10 teams, I believe, right now, or 12. And obviously, these are all the other teams that would not make it. Now, if they did a 20-team expansion, took the two best teams from each division and stuff, or just these 20 teams, this is where it would end. You got Illinois and stuff at 16, and Penn State at 15, Utah at 14. But let's just look at the 12 teams right now and stuff, because this is what's going to happen in 2024. So UCLA at 12, Mississippi at 11, LSU at 10, South Carolina at 9, Oregon at 8, still at 8, TCU at 7. I like TCU. I think they're a good team. Alabama at 6. Personally, I just don't see how Alabama can be 6. I think TCU should be over them at 8-0. Miss should be above LSU, and UCLA should move up a spot as well. A 6 and 2 team should not be in the top 10 and stuff. They should be down. They should be definitely down. Alabama, 7 and 1 should not be at 6 and stuff. Mississippi should probably be up higher. TCU should be up higher. UCLA should be slightly up higher and stuff. But LSU should move down at 6 and 2. All right, now we're going into the top 5 here. This is what I'm talking about. Michigan right here should be 4. Now, this one guy was completely wackadoo. He said Michigan should be 3, Ohio State at 4. Don't even understand what he was saying. I watched this on the MSU Michigan game where he was trying to do the college football playoff. The guy to the left, if you guys watched the Michigan game, and the guy in the middle were most accurate. They said Michigan was at 4. I believe they said Tennessee was at 1 and Georgia was at 2 or something. Oh, wait a minute. They changed it here. Or something. Hang on. This might be someone else's. I apologize. Now I'm just looking at it again. I thought Georgia was 2 or something. This might be a different approach and stuff. This is obviously the college football playoff website and stuff, but there might be other rankings and stuff on ESPN. I'm not even too sure if this is actually official or something, or there's a glitch in the system, because I'm pretty sure Ohio State stayed at 3 and Georgia was 2, but I might be wrong. Anyway, the point is that Michigan should not be here. They should be here at 4. Georgia should be 2, I think, because remember, they said Tennessee in the college football playoffs is 1 and Georgia is 2 in the AP ranking. I'm sorry, Georgia is 1 in the AP ranking. Tennessee is 2 in the AP ranking, but in the college football playoff, Tennessee is 1 and stuff. So you really got to look at this one, because this is the most accurate. Again, Clemson, you're not supposed to be here. You should be 5. You're not that good. Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, and Michigan would have a cakewalk on your ass. I'm telling you right now. There is no way that this team, Clemson, should be beating Michigan at 4. Anyway, so this is the college football playoff ranking. I believe this is the most accurate. But for some odd reason, I don't understand why they moved Ohio State to 2. That was really, really weird. So you guys don't understand that. I don't understand it either. I thought Ohio State was 3, but it is what it is. They might be 3 in the AP ranking and stuff, but here, you guys, if you want to compare the AP ranking, this is the AP top 25. This is what the AP says, and usually they're more accurate. See, this is what the AP says. Now, they put Tennessee and Ohio State tied for second. So, these two teams are like tied for first, kind of. So it's going to be number 1 versus number 2, or number 1 versus number 1 and stuff. So if they're tied, Michigan really should be 3 and Clemson should be 4, but you really can't do that because really it's still 3 and Michigan's 4. But this is the AP ranking and stuff. Now, obviously the AP ranking looks pretty accurate and stuff for the most part. There are some teams, like I said, that are changed. Like, for example, let's go back here. So I'm not wrong here. We got this one right here, guys. So this is the college football playoff ranking. I would try to do a side-by-side, but it's just not working. So as you guys can see, this is what I'm talking about. TCU at 7 still, but as you can see, what the frick is this crap? Get off my screen. You can see Oregon at 8, and this is good, but UCLA has moved up, which is good because that's where I think that they should have been. Ole Miss, though, I mean, at 11, definitely agree. LSU at 15, that's a great spot for me to have them because let me tell you, they don't deserve to be in the top 10. Ole Miss at 11, I mean, I don't disagree with that. Ole Miss at 11 right now and stuff, that's not bad. But, I mean, I think they should have been in the top 10. I don't know. It's just weird to see these teams. But you guys let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that, like, these are the top 12 teams that would be in right now, as of right now? But ultimately, I just think that it's just ridiculous to see how stupid you have one committee determining the college football playoff, one committee determining the regular season rankings, and then you have the coaches poll who agrees with the AP or changes their own things around and stuff. And, I find it very annoying, obnoxious, and stupid. I think the college football playoff and the whole entire ranking aspect and stuff, there's too many different rankings out there. There needs to just be one. And you can't have it be, oh yeah, we only do it for the playoffs and stuff. Why? What's the point and stuff? If I'm AP ranking and stuff, I would say the top 4 teams that are in right now are Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, and Michigan. Or sorry, I don't know why I put it in that order. Not in the order that I'm putting them in and stuff. Just that, those are the 4 teams that I would put in right now. Because they've been consistently good. Clemson, you've been scoring 1 touchdown against a close top 14 opponent. You went against Wake Forest in overtime. You only dropped 10 points against Syracuse. I'm sorry. You dropped only 10 points against NC State. And those are the 3 games that you've played against top 15 opponents. And yet, neither one of them are good matchups against because you should be blowing them out by a big margin. You didn't blow any of these teams out. Let me just tell you, Michigan, the 3 games that I want to talk about. Indiana, very close game in the first half. They always play us tough in the first half. What does Michigan do? Make adjustments. They come out and they blow this team out of the water and drop 21 points on their head. Iowa, Michigan goes to Iowa in a tough environment where top 10 teams go to die. In Iowa, this team has a really great defense. It has a top 10 defense. And you know what Michigan does? They shred them and they win that game. Michigan goes home. They go home. They get ready for that Penn State game, which will be the toughest game Michigan had to play so far in the season. They play against a top 5 team against the run. Penn State only allowed 398 rushing yards and 3 TDs in their first 5 to 6 games. That game, Michigan comes in. They have 418 rushing yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. And they blow Penn State out 41-17 in a top 10 opponent, and a team who has a top 5 defense against the run gets blasted through. A freaking cannon blows a hole right through their defense, and destroys them. And those cannons were Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum, and they won that game. They blew it up in it. It was a tough environment. Their next two tough teams after MSU, after the Rutgers, after obviously the Cornhuskers play us pretty tough as well, but I think we'll win that one at home, is Illinois at home, though Michigan has to play them at home, and go on the road for the final game of the season in Columbus, Ohio, the toughest game ever for that Thanksgiving weekend, and that is the game to decide it. I'm telling you right now, Michigan is a contender. You guys are telling me that Clemson is better. They are pretenders. They do not deserve to be there. But that's my point. You guys do not know what you're talking about. You have not watched the tape. I've watched Clemson games left and right. Their starting quarterback has struggled. They put in their backup. He does better now and stuff. I'm telling you right now, Clemson does not deserve to be there. They need to change this whole entire rankings for the college football playoff. I am not happy the way that this is happening. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know in the next one. And guys, don't forget to stay radical. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.